Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me this week to finalize summer camp, I have Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
Pineapple pizza.
No, it doesn't.
Does that still work?
It doesn't work every week.
Do I get a
It's
point?
like single week coupon, yeah. It's already expired.
Yeah.
It's a one-time use.
Yep.
You have to go back to listen to last episode to understand that.
Or really, technically, the weekend before as well.
Yeah, both. Both would be great for me if you would do that, listeners.
Jimmy needs an affirmation and acknowledgement that he scored 1 whole point.
Yeah, I wasn't even there 2 weeks ago. So.
Oh, man, I've scored no points in such a long time.
It's a drought.
I'm doing terrible.
Just
Doing
you're
terrible.
California over there.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It's we're recording this right. This episode is going to come out after the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
But we're recording it right before the 4th of July. And I'm sorry for all of America that's probably on fire since it's so hot and nobody can use fireworks
Yeah.
responsibly.
Well, I think it's still going to be hot next week, too. Oh, but you're saying you have the fireworks?
I'm just saying I mean, come on. Let's be honest.
For sure. some
Most
forest fires are
of
gonna start.
most of the
Very
West
dry.
Coast is going to be on fire this
Did you
weekend.
see the semi explode in
I
LA?
I just heard about that. Yeah.
LAPD. Oh man, it's wild.
They seized fireworks and
They
then
seized
the semi exploded.
Tons of fireworks, literal tons.
How did that
and-
happen? How did the fireworks blow up?
I don't know.
Was someone in the back playing with a lighter while they were driving down the road or
I
something?
don't know how it could have possibly happened. They they were still putting it in this semi and it blew up. And the semi is specifically a bomb squad thing for that, so it should not have blown up, but it just totally destroyed. So lots of what the hell?
Yeah, I think I
Anyway.
watched Philip DeFranco today.
Nice.
YouTube
Staying informed.
YouTube news guy, and he was like, if you live in LA and you felt or heard a big boom, it might have been this giant explosion from a cop van.
Oh, man.
Don't you don't need that many fireworks.
Be safe,
That's
kids.
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. I've never really done fireworks. I mean, I've done fireworks, but I've never been into fireworks. That's maybe what I meant.
I could see that. I have a friend who definitely is into fireworks, and I think it was last 4th of July, and we were up at his cabin, and he was like, they bought a bunch of fireworks,
Mm-hmm.
and then he lit one off. It was a mortar that shoots a couple things, and it's at the cabin is a big open yard, but not that big for what he wanted to shoot off. And then it was surrounded by woods.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the perimeter of the woods was just a heaping pile of I if I remember correctly, it was definitely cut up logs and and stuff
dry
and
wood.
probably leaves. And he launched the last one. He's like, "This is the big boy," kind of thing. And I'm like, I hate this. Because I'm just all you're gonna do right now is start a fire. And it shot up a couple times, and then it fell over, and then just started shooting sideways into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of them went straight into this brush. Just dried brush, and I was like, "Hey, we need to," and it's but it's still shooting, so it's I can't run in front of it.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Try to tip it up.
I
Took a bucket to it.
I just stomped it, the little fire out. But I was like, you could have just burned down the whole forest. Just now. He's like, nah, I did it fine. I'm like, how are you not?
He's like, nah, it was rad.
Nah, that was super cool. I was like, oh my god! And now he lives in he lives in LA, so he actually might start a forest fire.
That was probably his fireworks that blew up that bomb squad.
Might have been
semi.
his fire. No, I don't think he's not a stockpiler. He's a day of kind of I want to blow shit up right now. We should go buy fireworks.
Mm-hmm. That's the most rational kind of
Yeah.
I don't know.
arsonist.
I like all 10 of my fingers. Even the pinkies.
Yeah.
They got their place.
You made it sound like somehow your pinkies weren't included in your 10 fingers.
They're probably the most
That's a
what's the word I'm
thankless
looking for
job to be a pinky.
yeah, you don't You can get by without a pinky.
I think I'd want to lose, like, I think ring finger might be the most useless finger.
Really?
The ring and middle are a little bit redundant. I'd give you that.
Yeah.
You need one of them.
But like the pinky's just on the end. Like it's not really. It's
Your
unique.
it
but
has
it's
your
not-
best reach.
It's for stability.
I guess reach. Yeah.
I feel like
How are you going to get them octaves without your pinky?
I feel like I use my pinky so much to like hold, like I do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding a can with my pinky under like the
You
bottom.
hold it by the
Okay.
pinky.
Well, no, it's just
But
like
you could do that.
it's
You
a
could do that with your
stabilizer.
ring finger though.
I could,
Yeah.
except I mean, yeah, if my pinky was gone,
Yeah.
It just
But if
looks
my
like
ring
you're
finger was
clawing
gone,
it.
I don't even care.
Yeah. The ring and middle are more symbolic than anything, I guess.
Flourish the pinky.
It's just me flaunting that I'm a human and I've got 10 opposable digits. Watch out.
I don't think your pinky is opposable.
Well, this isn't.
10 opposable digits.
You have 2 opposable digits, and those are your thumbs, right?
Wait, what?
Josh just has 2 hands full of thumbs.
Why
He's got
are my
10
fingers?
thumbs.
My fingers don't count as opposable.
No.
Oh.
Because like that's what makes us different from the apes, right? Is that they have digits, but they don't have opposable digits.
Huh.
Yeah, like it's separate from the rest of your fingers, and you can use it like to grip something.
So what you're saying is I have to watch some more National Geographic stuff because I don't understand what makes
100%.
me human and better than the animal world.
We will watch some Animal Planet after
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Tonight we're doing Animal Planet.
No, we're not.
Oh.
But we're also not going to continue talking about fireworks and or fingers. Joe, what is first and last?
It's a TV pod. We take a TV show, watch just the first and last episode, nothing in between, make some predictions, and you're catching us at the end of kid camp,
Summer camp.
We're at a kids camp.
I like kept wanting to say spooky month, but it's like it's not a month and it's not spooky.
I mean, it was a month,
I guess so.
but it wasn't
It
spooky.
is like kids shows because it's like summer shows that we think of when we were kids.
Yeah, our
Not like in a creepy way.
our summer camp.
Yeah, this is definitely not creepy.
Yeah, not creepy summer camp extravaganza where we've been watching shows from our childhood that we equate with lazy summer days flipping through channels.
I feel like most of these have now been like either like that Friday night Nickelodeon or Saturday morning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This might be Saturday mornings.
I don't know.
We're doing Power Rangers.
We're back.
We're back.
Like we do.
We're on this week it's Power Rangers SPD, but you guys know that because you can read, listeners.
I didn't know that.
Well, you can't read, Joe, and you're not the listeners. So that's why I'm telling you.
SPD as in like something like police department? Is that what we're talking? Like they're cop Power Rangers?
Do you want to know what SPD stands for?
Maybe not. Okay, let's say maybe not.
Okay, because I mean I know what I just read it, so I know what it is. But it's
Super powered dinos.
I hope it's super powered dinos, but looking at the logo, I see like red and blue lights. I feel like it's police
It's
department.
definitely a police department thing. Yeah, for sure.
Like space police or something or time.
Which is like gotta be the lamest. Like I don't want to jump to conclusions, but like Power Rangers cops.
Yeah.
It's like
we've already done like
who wants that?
they did the Power Rangers there was already a space something.
Space Force.
That's what I'm
Force.
confused about is like most of these shows, the Power Ranger shows are based in space at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mighty Morphin was pretty Earth based, but like it's been space or time travel, and they're intergalactic like evil fighting force. So
Right.
like how would a space police be different than what we already get from Power Rangers?
Like because there's like bureaucracy involved, which is like the lamest possible thing.
Or are they like solving mysteries? Is that what like
Oh, okay,
SPD 's
okay,
gonna be?
okay. I'm into that. I'm more into that. But like, if you're like a hero,
It's actually
group,
a procedural. It stands for Special Prosecution Department.
it's very much just Law and Order?
It's just Law and Order, but the lawyers are
Rangers.
literally Power Rangers. And
I might watch that.
And Zordon's the judge. He's back in judge form.
In judge form.
And Alpha 5's the bailiff.
Hey.
I would watch this show.
This sounds like a good show, actually. But
It
I'm
writes itself.
pretty confident that is not the show
Alpha
we're
5
watching.
is also the stenographer at the same time.
There's probably a different version of Alpha.
Just several alphas.
What
All
about
extra
Goldar is the stenographer?
Because he's probably like the prosecutor. Prosecutor?
I mean, that's something.
Goldar.
Probably the defending attorney, whatever that's called. He's definitely like the attorney for criminals.
Okay.
Yeah. He's probably defending like Lord Zed for
He's just a piece
being
of
a
shit.
serial killer.
He's a defense attorney.
I just want to point this out there. I'd watch this just in case anyone wants to write some sort of fanfic and then make it into a
It's
show.
probably coming up. It's probably been done.
It's probably,
It's probably been done.
probably been done in the Power Rangers universe. Well, Power Rangers SPD is the 13th season of the American television series, and is based on the 28th Super Sentai series. So they're only 15 behind Super Sentai.
Yeah, they got some
Holy
material.
crap.
It was on, let me scroll down here, ABC Family, February 5th to November 14th of 2005.
Wow.
And
We're
30
only up to 2005.
That's
on the
right. We're only
Rangers?
16 years behind still. And it
how
was
is that
38 episodes.
Okay.
So the last one we watched was Dino Thunder.
Yeah, can you remind me what happened in Dino Thunder
I'm
again?
not 100% sure I can. Here, let me look up maybe I can read
There's a wiki,
the
like,
last
fandom.
wiki.
Yeah. I'm trying to picture it. Oh, I remember Tommy came back. That was the one where like Tommy was an archaeologist.
A soccer player, computer expert, musician, and their science teacher. Yeah, join forces to become Power Rangers and help save the Earth from mutant dinosauric beings that wish to eradicate all humans
That's Dino Thunder?
and return Earth to the age of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Mesagog and Zeltrax and Elsa. Oh yeah, and then Elsa wasn't one of those like kind of good at the end.
Probably. But yeah, it was like
Paleontology professor Tommy.
very like we're digging into the past, prehistoric type stuff, ancient powers. So now we're getting back into space, I assume. I guess I don't know. I still don't know what the S stands for, but
Yeah, I would.
it's got to be space, right?
It's got to be space. How could it not be space?
It's space.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And in the end of Dino Thunder, the Rangers no longer have their power. They go to
Of course.
prom.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god.
Connor says he will open a soccer camp. Ethan takes part in a video game competition. That's like what he did on Saturday, not what he's like about to do. And that's kind of it. Like they all just kind of go. Trent goes to art school. Anton is the happiest to hear it. That sounds okay. I'm just reading what Wikipedia says. The series ends with Kira singing a song with memories about their life.
Oh, that's right. She was like a 90s
Oh yeah. She's like a
alt-rock singer.
musician. Yeah. Okay. So I guess in kind of the spirit of that, I assume it's like a brand new cast and
Right.
no real relation back to the last
Yeah,
one.
I think that's what we can get from that is most likely, unless they bring back old Power Rangers or something like that, that we're probably starting anew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they've figured out at this point, or at least maybe following the Sentai stuff, is that every new season now is basically just starting over.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I know there's rumors of like, there's definitely some shows that have like, they bring back a bunch of red Power Rangers and they bring back people.
Right.
So there are definitely
and Tommy's
callbacks and
in
stuff.
more.
Yeah, Tommy's definitely
He's got to
in
be
more.
in more.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get that paycheck.
Yeah.
So,
Might be some Billy.
oh man, I'll flip a table if we get a Billy in SPD.
I dare you, because we're at your apartment.
Jimmy, go get our pizza while me and Joe talk about this.
I guess the only like other thought that I have, I mean, we're just diving into a Power Rangers. We've done this plenty of times before, but I guess I really hope that it's not a Power Rangers cop show. Like I just don't want that. I think unless it's like a procedural, but I
It's not that. It's definitely not that.
God. Like, I really just don't want it to be just like it's Power Rangers in space, but they have like uniforms that look like cops now. And I'm just like, oh, I just don't want to see a bunch of like cops just like kicking ass or something.
Well, okay, and so the S stands for space.
Okay.
The D stands for Delta.
Oh, so I assumed it was for sure police department.
And the P
Mm-hmm.
stands for patrol.
Oh, Space Patrol Delta.
Yeah. What do you I mean, but clearly on the logo, like it's a red and a blue light.
Yeah, it's
They are space police.
I mean, it's either that or like a Blue Lives Matter flags. Like like those are their choices.
They were so ahead of their time in 2005.
They knew it was coming.
They so missed the mark even back then.
So yeah, like if I were to describe like the Power Rangers SPD show that I'm not into, like I don't want them like cruising around in a spaceship like pulling over aliens or something. Like,
I mean, either way, right? It's really just gonna still, even if it's police and in space, it's still just gonna be, there's gonna be one ridiculous bad guy that has minions that they're gonna like. It's not gonna be it's gonna be a monster of the week, but with an overarching bad guy.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be that formula is not going anywhere.
right.
I can't imagine.
Maybe they were just sort of cycling through gimmicks, and they're just like, all right, it's another Power Rangers show. We're working it off the Super Sentai. It looks like another, what was the other space one we did?
I can't even remember.
Rangers in Space?
Was it?
There was like a Lost Galaxy.
Was it Rangers in Space like number 2?
Yeah. And they were just like, we've already done Rangers in Space. We've already done Lost Galaxy.
Time Force was like also in space, wasn't it?
Yeah. So maybe they're just clawing for something, and they're just like, I guess police, cop themed. And like maybe it really has nothing to do with it, but they were just,
It's been a couple of years since we've been in space.
They're like, we did dinosaurs. Cops are hot now.
Cops are so like maybe in 2005 the TV show Cops was big still.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of people dressing up as hot cops for Halloween.
Oddly enough, in a random side note, the guy who like invented or started Cops, the TV show, like died recently. And I saw a headline and it was like, creator of Cops dies in like Mexican road race.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Then you read an article.
Yeah.
So like fuck news forever. Because like then you read the article and it's like, I don't know, like John Blake created, I don't know what the fuck his name was, created Cops. He died from a heart attack while participating in like a sanctioned like off-road like actual race, like real like race that was happening.
Okay.
But it was in Mexico, so it was an off-road like dirt like sanctioned like race that people I think were like watching and spectating, and he had a heart attack. He wasn't road racing illegally in Mexico and happened to die from it.
It wasn't like Dose Fast, Dose Furious or something.
It's all about oh my god. It's all about how you word the headline, right?
Yeah.
Get those clicks.
I mean, I did click on it and I read it.
Hell yeah, you did.
Yeah, but most people don't. Most people don't click. They just like, oh man, then a cop's fucking. He crashed and burned.
Yeah, that's the rub.
He's a convict in Mexico. And it's like, nope, that's not it.
Yeah, there must be some.
He's
some
racing for his freedom.
Make it a crazy headline, but one that people will also click on and not just spread around Facebook into some like insane thing. I don't know how you bridge that gap.
So I think there's two things we need to decide. Well, three things. We all should answer. Number one, how many Power Rangers are we going to see? I feel like the sweet spot's somewhere between 3 and 5.
Yeah. I think they never go over 5, but I feel like we're going back to 5. I feel like we had a couple of less now, right?
We've had a couple less, and then
I think the dinos didn't start with 3, and then by the end there was like 5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe including Tommy. I don't remember.
I think we start fresh with 5.
I like that.
I think I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think 5. Number 2, this first episode we're watching is a 2-parter that happened on the same day, so we will be watching both of them. Do we see Zords?
I think no.
Never have.
Yeah,
I want to say yes, because I think unlike the other Ranger shows, which like it's just like kids stumbling into freaking dinosaur powers and stuff, you can't just stumble onto a police force, hopefully, especially a space police force. Also, is this going to be like Loki? Have you guys been watching that show?
I actually have been.
It's about like a time. Oh, that's a time.
That's time stuff.
Space force.
Time cops.
It's basically time
It's
cops.
like, you ever seen Demolition Man? No.
I feel like I
Wesley
have.
Snipes.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that? So I feel like we're gonna be entering in on an established 5 Ranger force. So there's potential for Zords in the first. At least, I mean, it's a 2-parter, so have Zords
true.
by the end.
I would like to say, Jimmy, I want to believe, but I don't have high hopes. So if I was gonna bet, I would say no Zords.
No.
Cool. I think I'm just setting the bar at like, I hope I'm not really turned off by this first episode. I feel like there's a high possibility for me to be turned off by a cop Power Rangers show. And
Oh my god. But what if the
just
first 5
chill.
minutes is just like Goldar saying, and then he came into the thing. My client. What's Goldar sound like? My client.
Yeah, he turned into Bert for some reason when we were doing an impression of him a second ago.
Goldar is kind of yellow.
Yeah.
He's cold.
And then it is obviously the S is space. I told Joe what the P and the D meant, by the way, when you're getting
Police
our pizza.
department?
Yeah.
No.
Put the
Really?
P in the D.
But it's
Oh, God.
Space Patrol Delta.
Same
Space
thing.
It's
Patrol
just
Delta.
it's
Yeah.
basically
Same
just
thing.
not saying police department, I think. But I kind of want to say that this still starts on Earth
Mm-hmm.
and goes to space eventually,
Okay.
instead of starts in space and goes to Earth. I think a space police force recruits 5 teenagers from Earth to become their newest Ranger cops. Why does that make any sense? It makes as much sense as any other fucking like Power Rangers would. So
Yeah. I mean, most cops don't live in the communities they police, so.
Topical.
Again, I'm hoping that this show goes a certain way.
yeah. But okay. Well, how about this? Let's just watch the first 2 episodes.
Let's get it.
It's episodes 1 and 2. Both were on February 5th, 2005. And they are, I think as a whole, they're called Beginnings.
Okay.
So pilot is what it's called. All right. So we'll be back after those. And we're back. We're done with the first 2 episodes of Power Rangers SPD Special Pimento Department.
Pimento.
Spicy pimento department.
I like a pimento cheese.
It's just a deli.
Pretty sure Pimento is the name of Jason Sudeikis' character in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
All right. I wouldn't know that.
Sudeikis? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
That's a man.
That's a Jason.
Who's the one from the dumpster episode?
Manzukis? Right? Manzukis?
The
Something like that.
dumpster episode?
He's talking about...
Oh, yeah, then that's not Jason Sudeikis.
Not Sudeikis. I knew that wasn't right. Jason Sudeikis is what's that show he was in on Apple? That's amazing.
don't know.
Wow, I can't. Should I just read the write-ups?
Yeah, could you just read the thing?
Okay, Beginnings, parts 1 and 2, February 5th, 2005. 3 experienced B Squad cadets Sky, Bridge, and Sid are assigned to bring in a pair of criminals who, just like them, possess genetic powers. I don't think we knew they were genetic necessarily, did we? Maybe.
Yeah, they got powers.
We knew they had powers.
We knew they got powers. Before they begin the capture, they are promoted and given Delta morphers, becoming Rangers Blue, Green, and Pink. And Sky is blue, and much to his dissatisfaction, because he wanted to be the Red Ranger like his father. Bridge is green, and Sid is pink.
Mm-hmm.
And they find that out when they perform their first morph. It says in part 2. I don't remember anymore. This is
they
part
morphed
2
right
now.
away at the beginning of part 2.
Okay. So now part 2, when the evil Emperor Groom attempts to open a portal and invade Earth, the two criminals, Jack and Z, are recruited as the Red and Yellow Rangers. Space Patrol Delta's B Squad Power Rangers are now complete thanks to the last 2 Rangers being selected. So lots more happened than that, because we see Jack and Z, they're like robbing the rich to feed the poor kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They get put in jail, and then the captain of the cadets of the Delta Force, what is it? Space Pimentos?
Space Patrol
Delta. Which
He's
is
some
just
sort of aqua
3
dog.
random words
This
that
really
just
is.
say cops.
Yeah, space cops.
Yeah.
How can it, Space Police Department didn't test well. How can
Yeah.
we change this acronym? We already made the logo.
Well, yeah, and there's this logo that's used in the show that's just like this badge with a dog on it that says police over it. And it's in the Super Sentai footage. So I wonder if that's part of it is just it's a cop show. I guess we'll make it spacey.
Yeah.
Because for
But
some
we're not
reason
gonna
their
call it.
dog, their theme is dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not
Cop dog.
understand the dog thing. The crime dog. What was the crime dog's name?
McGruff?
Yeah,
McGruff.
Take a bite out of crime.
Basically just McGruff, Space McGruff from the future. Oh yeah, this is future Earth. So basically there's just some more technology advancements and also random aliens
Yeah.
who at this point all seem to be homeless. I don't know if that's true about all aliens in this Earth. But that's all we've seen so far besides Space McGruff.
Mm-hmm.
So Space McGruff, once Jack and Z get put in jail, then he comes to them with this offer of join the Rangers or rot in prison.
Yeah.
And Z this whole time has been saying don't you want more, Jack? I think I want to be part of something bigger.
Because they're like a Robin Hood type thing, right? Where they just steal stuff, food and clothes, and give it to people.
Right.
Yeah, considering Jack's the one that kept going back to help people or doing more to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came time to joining the cops, basically he was like, I ain't no narc, I ain't doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the premise is super noble, right? He's looking at the cops and they don't do anything for the, for the folks who need help.
Mm-hmm.
We're out here helping out on the streets.
Giving people streetwear.
Yeah.
Josh had pointed out that there was a guy who came up to Jack asking for help, and he had several layers of
So many
rags on him.
layers.
And then Jack just gives him another jacket.
Yeah. Here's another layer. And it was well, I think you might want food or something.
Yeah.
He's probably hungry.
He's plenty warm.
So Jack, in theory, Jack is saying I can do more good out here. Maybe at least that's kind of what I want to believe. But then he sees the Rangers in some sort of trouble somehow. So there's also this assistant Boom and this cadet kind of trainer lady, Dr. Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Who looks like a human cat person.
It's like Maureen Ponderosa from from Always Sunny when she wants to become a cat, and then in later seasons she's literally like a cat person. She's got like cat ears and like has been doing like plastic surgery to look more like a cat. That's what this doctor is like.
Yeah, that her plot line gets real dark. She gets like plastic surgery, and then she dies, and there's a whole like making a murderer spoof where Dennis is trying to prove that he didn't kill. Anyway, so somehow Boom is his name, this assistant who's kind of this comedy relief person, like lets Jack out of his cell. I didn't really understand how that worked. He was screwing something up.
Just a crazy random happenstance.
And also there's a robo doggy prison guard.
Yeah, like kind of security guard. Yeah.
Who just kept coming up, and it just looked like K-9 from Doctor Who, if you've seen that show. There's a robot dog. It's literally just the same thing.
Except this dog kept making noises of all other animals, and especially when it was like shooting something out of its mouth, it was making elephant noises.
Yeah, it was like washing the windows with Jack and Z at the end of part 2, and then Groom comes into the like background and is like it's all fun and games now. You're gonna die. Also, Groom is the bad guy, and he's just like a Skeletor kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like the coolest like Halloween costume you'd see if you like went out that night.
Yeah.
You'd be like, that kid was the coolest costume.
Mostly bones and like glowing eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty spooky. For sure.
I mean, definitely like maybe one of the more fun bad guys, like main bad guys we've seen in a minute, because like wasn't like the one that was just like that old man dressed in black with like an eye patch like in one of them, and then
like a clock guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So skeleton. I mean, he's got a Groom is a dumb name, but
yeah,
he's cool looking.
WMM.
Can we get into like the fact that I'm just trying to I'm sure they explain it. God, I hope they explain it at some point. But they just have like, here's your morphers. We've just like created Power Rangers, and there's just sets of them now. It's not like you're not finding.
Yeah, there are squads of these.
You're not
guys
finding
around.
mystic gems.
Because they're specifically like the B team, right?
Yeah, they kept showing like the A team Power Rangers were like walking by them, and they had like different crazier suits. And then when they fought the one guy on the ground, the guy they defeated on the ground, then a big monster came, and we're like, holy crap, we're going to see their Zords. And we did see a Zord, but it was the A squads in the Zord.
Yeah.
And then they're
squad's
like, B
even.
squad, you can go home.
Yeah,
A squad's here with their
Done.
Megazord.
And Jack was like, oh, sweet. And he got the hell out of there.
Yeah. So I'm just curious on how
B Squad had nifty guns. They just kept pulling out different versions of
they really
guns.
had like so many different little guns.
No Zords for them yet, but
I'm just curious how they're like, I don't know, manufacturing Power Rangers now.
Yeah, because it used to be just like you were the chosen ones.
it's the future.
It used to be a giant talking head in the like desert outskirts of a town.
It seems like it's a whole department of Rangers or 2B Rangers. Like they were in like at one point on like a football field just with a bunch of like trainees.
Right, yeah. How many sets of Power Rangers do they have in this Pimento Force?
I don't know. A lot. Maybe they just burn through them quickly.
They're just getting murdered all the time. I mean, it's the future. You can just manufacture these powers. Or apparently they're genetically also giving them some kind of crazy powers. So did we saw Sid was like hands of iron or whatever, and her hand turned into like metal and she punched somebody. And then Sky has this like, he just waves his arm and it's and then like there's some sort of force field shield thing. I don't remember Bridge doing anything cool.
He can like see auras or something.
I don't
Yeah,
like
remember.
see
like
stuff.
the A squad as Power Rangers walked by, and he was like, something's weird about them, and it was showing shimmery stuff
Oh yeah.
by him, and then he at the beginning like waved his hand, kind of like almost like he saw like infrared to like find out where the bad guy was at one point.
Yeah.
Jack can go through walls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then Z
He can like duplicate herself.
she's multiple man.
Yeah. Multiplicity. Michael Keaton. It's a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have those things,
Mm-hmm.
and now they can morph. And which is funny because they morphed and they didn't know what color they were going to be, but to morph, they said the color before they turned into it. I don't know if you guys noticed
Did
that.
they do that the first time?
They did it the first time. Sky
Yeah.
was like, whatever, Ranger, blue. And then he was like, oh, blue?
Yeah. Yeah. I
What
think
do you
they say
mean?
SPD blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? You could have said red, presumably.
Presumably, you could have willed yourself to be
You
red.
effed this up for yourself.
I mean, I'm gonna just go on record and just say like, fuck Sky.
Yeah. Sky. So like he really wants to be Red
He's
Ranger
the problem.
because his father was a Red Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's how deep we're into this lore now. It's not just like this has been multiple generations of like
Yeah.
corporate Power Rangers or
Right.
whatever. So he wants to be a Red Ranger because he thinks he's the leader. And like when like the crime dog was asking him like about being the Red Ranger, and he said like, well, what about like Sid? Could Sid be the Red Ranger? And he was like, nah, she's a girl.
Yeah. And that wasn't even the first shitty thing he said. And then it was like, oh, can blah 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 Bridge be the
Yeah.
Red Ranger? He's like, I don't. He's kind of dumb or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
he's
it was
not
just
a
like,
like, yeah, I don't
leader.
trust that guy.
Yeah, and then it became, I don't know about you guys, it became super clear to me that Jack was going to be the red
yeah, I figured.
and that it was going to be a problem, which is like the black guy gets to be the red leader and he's like, oh man, that guy?
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, come on.
That guy, he's a criminal. He walks through walls.
like a criminal. Man, the whole premise of this show at the moment in my mind could be so cool if it was like a gritty Power Rangers. Could you imagine like
Gritty capture.
there's Squad B Power Rangers, there's a Squad A, in a way that, you know, they definitely want to be Squad A.
Mhm.
There's powers. It's been like generations of Power Rangers, and it could just be like, Squad A's all fucking dead. You guys are Squad A now, and it's like, yeah, and like crazy shit. It's just like, I was like, oh man, if this wasn't a kid's show, this might be like the coolest Power Rangers ever. I was just thinking
So
about how
many
like
of you-
weird and like, because imagine if it was like in the vein of like The Boys or something like that,
Yeah.
with the way this is like all set up, because it's like this corporate whatever, but it could just be so like gritty. But instead it's like, my name's Sydney and I'm kind of stupid, but I'm a Power Ranger, yay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weirdly kind of conventional for like as much as that other stuff that they set up about a Power Ranger Academy and like generational powers and stuff. It's still just like there's a team of teenagers and they got to fight like the big bad from space.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, and the big bad too, also he was like, you know, it's Kitty too, but he had one guy that went to try to get the proton accelerator or whatever they were going for, and then that guy came back and he was like, you failed me, and he like crushed him, you know. But I was like, oh man, if this was a gritty Power Rangers, would have been like, no boss, no. Like ripped him in half. He was like, I'm a skeleton man, I'm a demon.
Yeah. So, were you talking, is that the guy that Z like took the Rangers to try to like find out what the proton accelerator thing
No,
was?
he killed that like first top
Oh
buddy
yeah.
guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
robot guy.
His first like henchman.
Yeah.
Yes, there was an alien that they go talk to, some like person from the streets that Z knew.
Oh, that alien's name is Piggy, by the way.
Piggy?
Yeah, I like
Okay.
looked at. I saw it on. It was either in the credits or I
Lord
looked
of
it
the
up
Flies?
on IMDb, and I was trying to make sure I knew the Power Rangers names.
And then Piggy turns out to be like helping Emperor Groom and brings him the proton accelerator. We still don't really know what the hell that is, but
It seemed it was just like the. Also, how did he get it all the way? I guess teleporting. I don't know why.
who's to say?
Makes the protons
Actually, no.
faster.
Wait, I have a problem. Now I just thought about it. I have a problem with this. Emperor Groom specifically said, like, the reason why he couldn't or any other people couldn't go to Earth to try to get the thing that he wanted was they couldn't like make the trip. Only robots could.
Mm-hmm.
He specifically was like, well, robots can go find it.
That's why the putties are robots.
Yeah, that's why the putties are robots and the thing is robots. Then the non-robot alien guy, Piggy,
Apparently, he has no problem
he has no problem getting
out into space.
across the galaxy or wherever Emperor Groom was to give him the proton accelerator. I ain't 5 Power Rangers.
They did throw that in at the last minute of episode 2, so maybe they're hoping you didn't notice that.
I didn't think about it till right now, but yeah.
The only other thing I can think of is the fact that there's this whole Minority Report aspect.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So what was that about?
Well, they got like their like police wallets or whatever, and they can just hold them up to you, and they can be like, "Did you rob the place?" And if you whatever you answer, it'll say if you're like lying or not.
It's just like a lie detector.
Well, it says like guilty or not guilty. It's like you've been accused of this crime, and then it shows guilty or not.
Yeah, it's a little judge. It's like a little Minority Report mixed with Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this like
Yikes.
it could be really cool because it's like these Power Rangers are like Judge Dredd with multiple levels of Power Rangers, and like bet Power Rangers could just die, and you just get a new one. Oh man, I want an adult SPD.
Now, okay, so I can't get past this fact of gritty Power Rangers and space. Wait, cadets. What is it? Whatever. Team A, Squad A is dead. Are we just agreeing that this squad now is Squad A by the finale?
Oh, I'm sure we
just
did we all
agree
write
on
that
that?
down in a prediction?
Like,
And Joe didn't.
Like-
Add a different one. Yeah.
like we didn't, but like,
Joe thinks they're Squad C now. They got
do you
demoted.
think they're not?
No, I think Squad A is still around,
Okay.
and I have a prediction about Squad A.
Okay, dope.
I think all of Squad A is gone for some reason, but it's like not like they all got murdered or something because they can't do that. But
There's
maybe
2 Squad A's.
probably Squad A got captured and probably saving Squad A or something like that, and then they become
Yeah.
Squad A. But could you imagine if they all were Judge Dredd Power Rangers and then Squad A all got murdered and they're like, "You're Squad A now," unceremoniously?
You just want to watch Judge Dredd, is what you're saying.
I just want to watch Power Rangers Judge Dredd now.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Sounds good.
Judge
Predictions?
Zed,
Judge Zed? Wait, what?
like Lord Zed.
Oh, yes.
It's like I think that's where he's going.
Judge Zed. Starring Sylvester Stallone.
I mean, yeah. So we did see Zords though for the first time. We obviously saw them morph, and they did go back to 5, like we thought.
Yeah. Nailed it.
And no returning. I feel like
No.
this is going to be no returning Power Rangers
Yeah.
at all. I don't think this is going to be. I think this is going to be all original. Do we want to get into predictions?
Yep.
I'll
I can go.
You go.
There was a moment where Z, one of the thieves, and Bridge, one of the Power Rangers, like when they were like introducing themselves to each other, they kind of like smile at each other. So I think they're an item. Z and Bridge, the pink and green Power Rangers.
Love it. What does pink and green make? Brown?
Babies.
Watermelon candy. I think the A squad are still around, and I think they're actually like bad guys. Like they're somehow
That's
like,
cool
working for
too.
good.
Bad Rangers.
In a gritty
We
Judge
haven't had
Dredd
bad
Minority
Rangers.
Report.
Yeah, I think they're bad Rangers.
We haven't had bad Rangers yet, have we? At all?
I mean, Tommy was a bad Ranger at the very
Oh.
start of Power Rangers.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah,
true.
I don't think that we've seen.
But isn't that he wasn't like a Ranger that went bad? I love that.
Yeah, he was created bad. I think that Sky is kind of gonna be a dickbag the whole show, but then in the end, Sky sacrifices himself for the team.
Ooh. God, I hope he does.
Sacrifice
I want
play.
him dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna Iron Man it.
And then my last one is that Lord Zed is back.
Ooh, I like
Back
that.
again.
It's fun.
He's back.
Two of the best Halloween costumes ever: Lord Zed and
Yeah.
Lord Groom. Emperor Groom. Sorry. All right, those are good ones.
I hope so. I hope they're point worthy.
Well, mine
0 points.
are totally way better. I think B Squad becomes A Squad. They're A Squad at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Where's A Squad? I don't know. Dead. I think there's a sixth Ranger in the mix,
Ooh.
and just for funsies, I think they're gold.
Ooh.
But
Okay.
but the points for sixth Ranger. Number 3, I think Emperor Groom kills the dog guy.
Oh no.
Oh,
Anubis.
dang. Kruger.
Yeah.
It's dead.
And then I think this leads to the Power Rangers then chasing after either Groom or just the bad guy, whoever the bad guy is at the end. It leads to them chasing them into the farther reaches of space or something like that. So
Okay. Space chase.
yeah, it's like it ends, but it kind of ends in like we still got work to do, and they keep going or something like that.
Okay. Fast and the Furious in space.
Fast 9, Fast Furious.
Fast space. Okay, I also have that this squad is Squad A now. I think old Squad A is just like dead or defeated in some way. Then I think it's been a while since we've had. I think we have Mega Groom. Like Emperor Groom actually is Zord size. Is that a name for that? Probably a name for that.
He made his monster grow.
Mega Game. Oh, God. That's okay. Mega Groom. 3 is, I also think there's gonna be like a space battle. I mean, they're called the Space Delta Force or whatever. Not Force. I keep saying that. Department. Delta.
Mm-hmm.
Just Delta.
And they were like, we're not in space at all. They did nothing with space. Only the bad guys were in space. So I think we've got a space battle, and I think that they have like spaceship Zords is my number 3. Is spaceship Zords.
I like
Okay.
it.
Then number 4, oh, I forgot about this one. This one should not be number 4. So we got like robot putties, like robot bad guys. So I think they use an EMP to take out all the robot putties.
Oh, clever. Almost too clever.
It's like, how could you not do that just immediately all the time? You're like, oh, they're robots. Oh, we'll just EMP them.
Yeah, remember when
constantly.
Remember the bad guys in that one Power Rangers was just the robot empire or whatever?
Oh yeah,
And it was like, yeah, just
take them out
take them out.
immediately. They run on electricity. Take their batteries out, man.
Maybe they're nuclear powered robots or something like that.
If I have 2 runners up that don't count for points, I want Boom to be that next Ranger, Josh.
Okay.
And if we get Lord Zed, I want to see some Zordon. Just to piggyback.
If we get Lord Zed, I want a little Rita Repulsa somewhere in there. Did
All
they
of
turn
it.
into
All of
humans
it.
at some point?
Wasn't Rita always a human?
Well,
Space
yeah,
human?
but they turned into like good humans.
Space.
Like Zed was wearing overalls or something like that. I don't know. Okay, cool. Well, we're all set. So let's watch the finale of this TV show. We're only watching the second half because it was a 2-parter called Endings. One was on November 7th, and the one we're gonna watch was on November 14th, 2005. So we're watching Endings Part 2, and we'll be back after that. And we're back. We're done with the final episode of Power Rangers SPD. It was Endings Part 2 is what we watched because that was on the only one on November 15th, 2005. Jimmy.
14th, according to Wikipedia.
Well, whatever, Jimmy. You got to write up?
Yeah. Okay, part 2. The Rangers are freed from Groom's ship by Piggy, but Doggy stays behind to rescue his wife, Isinia Hall, who he has learned is alive on Groom's ship. Doggy captures Mora and defeats Groom, apparently killing him, and rescues Isinia. Still, Omni becomes the Magnificence, a giant biomechanical monster that battles the SWAT Megazord, which is no match for it. Simultaneously, a Trubian army attack SPD, and the cadets, Piggy, Boom, and Cat, defend it to no avail until reinforcements in the form of the Nova Ranger from the future troops from SPD Command arrive, including Sergeant Silverback and Commander Birdie.
I mean, there was just a lot of people flipping around that just had like animal masks on.
Masks.
Yeah, were they Animal SPD? That's super fun. I want to see more of that. So they defeat the enemy, and then Cat finds a weakness in Omni, which the Rangers exploit with Kruger's help. Omni is destroyed, and Kruger and Isinia miraculously survive. Groom's alive and well, but Kruger easily defeats and captures him. Following this victory, Jack leaves SPD, and Sky is promoted to Red Ranger while Bridge is promoted to Blue. Sam and Nova return to the future, and the Rangers visit Jack, but must soon leave to defend the world again.
Lot of good ideas
What
in
else?
this episode.
What else?
Yeah, there's a lot introduced, which is not necessarily that's happened in previous Rangers series that we've seen. Where it's like, oh, there's another couple Rangers. Oh, they got new powers and Zords.
Yeah, and Doggy was a Ranger.
Yeah, he had a Ranger suit.
He morphed.
He might have been the coolest Ranger I've seen yet because he had a sword. And it was like a cool sword, not like a plastic ranger looking sword.
And all the Power Rangers had they have this like insignia on their shirt that says like 1 through 5, and like Doggies said 100.
Yeah,
that's just like dope.
It's the power of 100 dogs running through his body.
It's like on a sports team, he's just number 100.
So yeah, to clear this up, his name is Anubis Doggy Kruger.
Yeah.
It's so fucking dumb.
Doggy Kruger.
Doggy Kruger. They called him Doggy so many times.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't like that.
Yeah, seems almost like the name Doggy for him just seems almost like what's the word I'm looking for here? It's like not detrimental, but
yeah,
like
it definitely does not command respect.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just like, hey, fucking Doggy, get over here.
What's up, Doggy?
Get over here, dog face.
Yeah, it's definitely not a commander's
derogatory is the word
Yeah.
I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I mean, so they started off and they were all Doggy and the 5 Power Rangers were all like locked up.
Yeah.
The original.
And then they got out because Piggy helped them.
Yeah, Piggy was in disguise as one of the bad guys.
Who Piggy, it sounded like he had like betrayed them, and that's how they got in there in the first place.
I mean, Piggy in the very first episode gave the bad guy like the means to get to Earth.
Yeah, Piggy's not to be trusted for sure.
So Piggy was being a pile of poop right away.
It came to the good side.
Eventually, he made it.
So he broke him out, and that's where they like kind of they went back down to Earth because there was an attack there, but then Doggy stayed behind to like try to save his wife.
He fought a little girl.
Oh yeah,
my gosh,
that's right.
Mora.
Because
was her name.
In the credits, like we saw a lot more characters, and one of which was like a little like 10-year-old girl, and I was like, oh okay, of course. Like we've seen like little kids join to become like a junior ranger and stuff like that before. But I didn't expect that it was going to be an evil little girl.
Yeah.
She's like got spells and stuff.
She like would draw things on paper and rip it out of her book, and it would become bad guys.
Yeah.
And then Doggy was just cutting them in half,
slicing
just
them,
literally
slicing
murdering her
through 'em.
creations immediately.
And then captured her.
I thought he was gonna kill her for a second.
Yeah, I forget. He
We all
says
hoped.
something cold to her. Like, she was like, "What are you gonna do to me?" And he was like, "You'll see," or something, and then like aimed something at her. I thought he just shot her in the face.
Yeah.
But apparently he was like capturing her in like a
In a
prison
little
cell card.
Yeah.
Which maybe were they trying to get into the card game? The Rangers
No.
trying to
I
get
could-
into
I
that
could see that.
Pokemon card
Trying to
game.
be some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but Power Rangers.
Because that's all this was. They were capturing people into these little cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had to weaken her by getting rid of all of her magic book before you could capture her and a thing. Because he did it to Doggy. That's how Doggy captured Groom at the end the same way. And it was like, why aren't they just capturing all these people immediately like that?
Yeah.
It's like they have to weaken them like Pokemon.
Yeah,
first.
I think there is a little bit of Pokemon rules
Maybe.
to that.
Yeah.
Well, Boom was captured in one of those, like in like the first episode or whatever.
Yeah, but he's naturally weak, so it was fine.
He's already.
He's like a
pretty-
Rattata. And Groom's like a
He's just a
Kangaskhan.
Magikarp.
But so, yeah, he captures Mora, that's kind of fun, like an evil child.
Yeah.
That's first of its kind in Power
Wild.
Rangers, I think.
I think so.
And then Doggy gets to like the bridge and fights Groom, and I was like, oh my god, Groom's gonna kill this dog. And then Doggy has a wife, and I was like, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And then he almost killed the wife.
Yeah.
And Doggy saved them. And then Groom was like, "You'll never take me alive," basically, and lets go and falls into this abyss.
Yeah, he did he did the thing where like it's like throwing the Emperor down the hole.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, ah.
Yep.
Except he survived.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So, but all of this is occurring like inside like this giant monster
The
that's
Omni.
attacking the city.
I mean, it's basically like a Bio-Megazord, basically.
uh-huh.
Evil one.
And then the cat doctor like discovers that there's a flaw in Omni, the big monster, that they can somehow open a hatch from the inside, and then the Rangers can shoot into it with their like double pistoled Zord.
They just Death Starred it.
Yeah, and then they just started. That Zord also, it was like double magnums. It was like
two giant guns.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
it was like Dirty Harry.
Just 6
Megazord.
shooters. It's just firing giant bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, Doggy and his wife had to go down and manually open the hatch. It was just like, are the Zords just gonna shoot Doggy?
Yeah, just shoot through 'em.
But they like dive out of the way and somehow survive
Mm-hmm.
miraculously.
Expert
I
timing.
feel like Doggy and his wife somehow didn't die like 6 different times in this episode.
Yeah,
And I'll be honest, I was rooting for them to die every single time.
yeah. You don't kill off good guys.
You don't kill dogs.
It's not a Joss
Yeah, you don't
Whedon
kill
show.
dogs.
Yeah.
He's on the logo. He's got to stay.
Yeah, he's literally the badge.
Yeah.
It's his face. Yeah, so they do that. They beat the Omnizord thing or whatever that was. I don't know if that. I mean, they must have talked about it before that. But then Groom shows back up
Yeah, because he's
And-
fine.
because he's just fine after he tried to commit suicide and failed. And then Doggy's like, I got this.
Mhm.
And then they fight for like 3 seconds. And then
Yeah.
he's like, Zap, now you're in a Polaroid.
Just a little one-on-one battle. That's it.
And then, yeah, well, what's his name? Jack quit. Oh, there was 2 other Power Rangers that
Yeah,
weren't A
From
Squad.
the future.
Yeah, the Omega
Omega was there.
Ranger and then the Nova Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
They're both like kind of white, silvery.
Yeah.
But they're from the future
Apparently
apparently.
they're the SPD of the future or
Mhm.
something like that. So they have time traveled then, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I mean, maybe there was some character growth throughout the 38 episodes, but unfortunately, Sky became Red Ranger like he always wanted.
Yeah.
But
because
Doggy
Jack-
did ask him that sexist question, and he did answer it right this
Yeah.
time.
Jack retires, who's the Red Ranger, and then first Doggy tells them like since they like did really well, he's gonna promote them from B Squad to A Squad.
Yeah.
And then they all go, no, we're the B Squad.
Like,
He's
what?
like, okay.
What?
But then he says, yeah, but you guys don't have a leader right now. You don't have a Red Ranger. And then he asks Sky, like, the same question from the first episode, like, would you follow Sid, the Pink Ranger, into battle? And Sky says, like, I would follow anyone into battle.
Yeah, either he's not a pile of shit anymore,
Yeah.
or he understands how to answer the
Knows
correct.
how to play.
Yeah, yeah.
Or he
he's
was
still kind of
practicing
a-
for the interview.
Still kind of a cop-out answer because he says, would you follow her into battle? And he's like, I would follow anyone into battle. It's like, but would you follow her into battle?
I would follow anyone into battle, sir.
Under the right circumstances, I would probably do it.
I would have loved if he would have been like, that's good because Sydney, you're the new Red Ranger, and Sky, you're the new Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
And
But
then
yeah, so they promote Sky to Red, and then they promote Bridge, who
Yeah.
was green, to blue.
right, and
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't
Apparently.
understand. I mean, there obviously is like some sort of hierarchy, but
Yeah, I guess.
I guess it did. I was like, blue to green to blue. I was like, does that matter?
Yeah.
Colorists.
Like clearly, like Red has been the leader a lot of the times.
Right.
And I
Yeah,
think there's been
it's
times
true.
where it hasn't even really necessarily been the leader, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could be promoted from green to blue.
Yeah, I thought it was like red, and then just everybody else.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like on an even
Right.
keel.
Everybody else, and
Maybe blue is like your whatever, your co-captain. What is your? Is there a like your skip? Is that a nautical term?
You think
I
they're?
don't know.
You think these
What's like
Power
the
Rangers are
there's like a
boaters?
captain. It's like your captain, and then there's like a first mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe blue is like first mate, and
Is
then
number
everyone
two?
else.
This is Riker.
Everyone else is. Yeah, exactly.
But
So
why
you're
did he
always
have to
gonna
be
act
blue?
Act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. It's just like a belt system in like martial arts. You know, you just got to have a color.
True. I wonder if they talked about that at all. Like,
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
if like Sky was always like, I hate being number 2 as the Blue Ranger, like throughout the series.
I look terrible in blue.
Because I could see them not saying anything about that this whole season, and then being like, Bridge, you get to be blue now. And be like, wait, what?
He's like, well, my entire like street clothes wardrobe is green.
Yeah, have you not been noticing
really
that
been living into this.
we all wear the colors we are, man? This is really gonna mess with my wardrobe. Go get a stipend to buy new clothes.
There's probably a button for that. It's the future, right?
Yeah, there's probably some just like laser dye machine that'll just change your clothes. Zoop, you're green now.
So, Joe, what was your thing about the A squad?
My prediction about them?
Yeah.
I would predict that they were bad guys.
So in Endings Part 1 and the
Mhm.
wiki, it says, it starts, the traitorous A squad capture Commander Kruger and call out the B squad, who meet their counterparts for an intense battle.
There you go.
We did not see, because I think Josh mentioned, we did not see it previously on
Yeah.
in this episode.
Yeah, I
which
thought that was
very
weird.
confusing to jump in halfway through.
So I was right. I don't know if I get the points, but I was right.
Right.
Moral victory.
Absolutely. That's what this is really about.
That's fun though. That they were traitorous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bridge was right about them. There's something weird.
There's something weird about.
Yeah, he knew. He saw it. He saw their auras or whatever. Also, in scrolling through the episodes, Alpha 5 is mentioned. So I'm into that.
Yeah, he's a robot and didn't explode, so he's got to be around, right?
I feel like he randomly comes in and out of some of these more than I care to have him do that.
Poor Alpha.
So in
What else?
the Power Rangers canon of what we've seen in past,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel like this might line up from what you could even remember?
Like pretty average, I would say. Like it wasn't as like weird as some of the other ones were in like good and bad ways.
Yeah.
And like the weirdness like makes some of those like really memorable.
Mm-hmm.
I I was reading on like the fandom page for this series that like this is one of the more like highly regarded of like the later series because like the acting is better.
Sure.
But I didn't.
I don't know if that's that hard, but I mean, I guess it was a little bit better because sometimes it's really bad.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess yeah, because it was just okay, it was better.
Yeah, I guess some people are really into these characters, so.
I definitely think like Jack was better than like a normal actor, I thought on occasions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sky is just a douche and he did that well.
Yeah.
You don't like him.
I did see something about how in this series they like tended to like focus in on one character per episode, like kind of like Lost, like you just get like a little more of their backstory.
Nice.
So maybe there was more of their acting chops through the series.
Sure.
Love to see more Doggy. I love Doggy as a character.
Yeah, I was into that.
I want to see more Power Ranger Doggy.
I was into this a lot more than I thought I was going to be because like police department Ranger sounds super lame. And B, I think I was just more into this than several of the last ones that we've done that have just been kind of off the rails. Like on some weird turtle island that just lands in its spot.
Yeah, that one wasn't great. And then like one of the other ones, that was that one, and then there was the Ninja Academy one that was I thought that one was pretty silly too. This one at least even in these 3 episodes that we watched, got my brain going on some really fun dark alternative Power Ranger history that could be done.
True. Yeah.
Need that Power Ranger fanfic in my life apparently.
There's some lore there worth exploring.
Yeah. So not bad. Yeah, I'd probably it's probably upper 25% percentile of ones we've seen.
All right.
Probably say that.
Cool.
I needed a little bit more Zord in my life. We did get not much Zord. Like we never even saw like a single Zord. We only saw A Squad in their full Zord, and then B Squad. Were they just in that same Zord from the beginning, or maybe it was a different
what happened?
one?
Their Zord thing happened so fast.
Right.
They got like annihilated immediately.
Yeah. So like I don't know, but
sure.
So not enough Zords, but.
And they probably, because they're the B Squad, they may not have a lot of Zord time in this.
It'd be pretty hilarious that if every time during this series a monster got big, they were like, all right, you're done. A Squad's coming in. And it like never happened. Like, come on.
Until they turn.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
All right. Should we see how we did?
Yeah.
Might as
Joe?
well.
Yeah, I can go. My first one was that the Z and Bridge were together, which it didn't look like. I think there might have been a moment between Z and the Omega Ranger from the future, but
Oh yeah, they
Looked
hugged.
like it.
yeah, but
They embraced.
that's weird anyway.
Sam. She called him, but
Sam.
their first name basis.
So yeah, no point there. I had that the Alpha or the A Squad Rangers are baddies, which appears to be true, but I think by the scoring system we have set up, it's not read Wikipedia and see if your predictions came true. It's watch the last episode and see if your predictions came true.
And they were not in this or even mentioned. So
Yeah, they didn't even say like, even if they would have been like, man,
one line.
those dirty A Squatters.
Yeah.
You know?
One line would have given you that point for me.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, nothing for that. I had that Lord Zed comes back, which we didn't see him unfortunately.
No.
And then I had that Sky sacrifices himself for the team, which there wasn't. There were a couple of times where like Doggy tried to sacrifice himself, but it wasn't Sky.
Oh man, Doggy had so many opportunities to get killed.
Yeah.
And he never took them.
So 0 points.
All right. Well, man, I was so close on so many of these, which bugs me. Number 1, B Squad becomes A Squad. And they literally were asked to become A Squad, and they said no.
They're like, nah.
which is ridiculous. So he's like, Doug is just like, well, okay, there's no, even if you don't take the promotion to A squad, if there's no A squad, you're essentially you're the first line of defense. You are the A squad.
You are A squad.
What if Doggy just promoted 5 other kids? He's just like, fine, they're A squad then.
Cool. You don't want to be A squad? Then like this dick over here is going to be captain of A squad.
You're all Green Rangers now.
And they all just get murdered immediately.
Well, I did say there was going to be a 6th Ranger. There was a 6th and a 7th Ranger technically.
Plus Doggy.
And plus Doggy, I guess, too.
5.
So there was a Mega, Nova, and a Doggy.
Doggy Ranger.
Doggy Rangers. So I'm taking that point.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that was extremely close, I thought Groom would kill Doggy. And they fought one-on-one multiple times.
Yeah.
With like even a wife on the line, hanging from a building Die Hard style, and still Doggy prevailed. He has more lives than a cat, that Doggy. And then the last one, not anywhere close to it. I said it leads to them like chasing after a bad guy off into space or something like that, and that did not happen.
No,
they solved the riddle of the bad guys and quenched it. But I'm taking 1 point.
Were they even ever in space? I guess the Omnibot thing started in space.
Yeah, they were fighting in space
saw
initially.
It, like, being like put together or something in space, and they were apparently in it. So
I feel like, maybe
really
there's something else
for
that happens
space.
in this show, but it seems like at most them being quote unquote in space is maybe like orbit of Earth sometimes.
The only time they were ever in space while we watched was when they were captured.
Yeah.
So how do you call yourself the space whatever department?
Space Patrol Delta.
Dang it. Man, they should probably change the name. So I also had Squad A, Kid A, and they were not. I said Mega Groom. The Groom wasn't big. The Omnibot guy was. Then I thought there was going to be Spaceship Zords, and I got so excited when Omni was like, obviously Zord and in space, and then it just immediately went to Earth.
Oh, really, really quick when you said that. At one point, the Omni bot guy shot lasers at the Megazord, and the Megazord roundhouse kicked the lasers out of the air.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense, but was totally awesome.
Pretty tight.
Pretty awesome. But the Zords did not fly up into space. And then I was hoping for an EMP of the robot putties, but didn't really see any of that. They did a lot of killing of putties, but they just seem to be like blasting them with just your generic lasers. So 0 for me. Dog.
I'll take it. I'll take my 1 point when you guys take 0. I've had so many 0 point days that me having 1 point and both of you getting 0, I don't think changes standings at all. Not that I know what they are, but I know that I'm not winning. I can tell you that for sure. All right. Well, hey, listeners, that's the end of summer camp and the end of Power Rangers.
Oh man.
SPD. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you want to send us some show suggestions or just get a hold of us for whatever reason, you can at FNL Podcast on the Gmail or on the Twitter. And then, if you tell us you want us to watch something, we probably will. Cause,
more summer shows.
Yeah, it's summer. It's hot. It's going to be hot for a while. So send us those hot picks, hot takes, hot shows, hot goodbyes. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.